Hello, my beautiful friend. Today I'm very excited because we are going to be talking about 3 cool projects that you can do in your empowerment studio to help encourage your clients to embrace themselves, to love themselves, to start the process of accepting their body the way that it is. And projects are one of the things that I've always done from the very beginning of my journey as a boudoir photographer to help me get to know the people in my community, make myself a bit more accessible for folks who maybe can't afford a full session with me, and learn more about a topic that I'm extremely interested in. If you've been following me for a while or have taken any of my courses, you know that at the heart of all my education is empowerment and body liberation, body acceptance. So, of course, a lot of my projects focused on that kind of niche. But if you have a different focus in yours, maybe you are focusing on helping people own their sexuality or embrace who they are as an individual, or everyone's got a different purpose to why they do this type of work. And so you want to be clear on your why, but you can use the elements of the projects I'm going to go through today to help you make a difference to your community and also the people around you. So there are a few things to keep in mind when you're doing projects, and number one is there is no right way to do it. If you want to charge for it, cool. If you don't want to charge for it, also cool. There is no right or wrong way, even though I know a lot of people say, well, it's your time and you should pay. Listen, sometimes it's just nice to do something that is creative for you and brings community together and so on. So for myself, I never really charged for any of my projects unless there was some reward for me on the other end, like being able to use photos, publicly or things like that. Then sometimes I even pay people to participate in my projects. But a lot of times my projects were more for data collection and for me to understand more about elements of body image from a personal experience of the people I was photographing. So again, no right or wrong way. If you want to charge for it, cool. If you don't. Like there's no right or wrong. Some people do it as a fundraiser. So they'll say, bring X amount of dollars, like $25 or something like that, and then the money goes to a charity. Or they'll say bring something for, the Women's Resource Center or something like that. So you could also kind of have an in-between where it's still they have to bring something to participate, but it's benefiting somebody else and not profiting you. So different kinds of things. You want to be clear on your values as a business owner. If you don't know what your values are just as a person in general, I'm going to link a blog post for you that I wrote a very long time ago that will help you get clearer on why you do what you do and what is kind of your leading motivation. Once you have that tool locked, it's easier to do the rest of the stuff because you'll know kind of what's motivating it and how to feel fulfilled. All right, so that's the main point with that one. The second thing I want to let you know is these have been done before. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I've done these projects. I'm certain other people have done these similar projects. And that holds a lot of people back from executing because they're afraid that somebody's going to think you're copying them. Listen, everybody has copied somebody. The important thing is taking the inspiration and making it your own. And that's why I mentioned at the beginning, applying it to why you do the work you do. While my focus is on body liberation and body acceptance, yours might be something completely different about why you do the work you do. And so you want to just adapt it so it is in line with you and why you do the work that you do. All right, so those are the 2 main kind of like obstacle-y things or questions that come up when people are thinking about doing projects. And so I just want to let you know that number 1, everything's been done before, you're fine. Number 2, if somebody says you copied them, that just means they're having a pity party and that's on them. And you are not responsible for other people's reactions. And number 3, pay, unpaid, doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. Okay. So let's get into it. The first project that I want to encourage you to consider doing, you can do this next month since it's Love Month, is what I call Write Love on Your Body. So the whole premise behind this particular project is your clients will come in or your subjects will come in and you can do this either individually or in a group setting. Again, what are your values? For me, I like to work one-on-one with people, but I have seen this executed in group settings as well. And there's a whole other element of community and fun when other people are together. So that is something to consider. In either case, what I have people do is use makeup like eyeliner or lipstick, and they'll write on their parts of their body that they're insecure about, something good that it has done for them. So it's kind of just redirecting where we normally target our hate towards a part of ourselves. It's changing that conversation not only by writing it on the body parts. Sometimes you might need help if it's like a certain back part. Writing on that body part, but also looking at it in the photograph afterwards. You can't help but read the words, and so your brain's going to associate that body part with those words afterwards. And so that one was really popular. That was one of the first projects I did, and I highly recommend it because number one, there's not a high overhead cost. It doesn't really cost too much aside from having like makeup, and you can even tell your clients to bring like an eyeliner pencil or lipstick that they're okay to use for this project. You can also use lip lining pencils. That also works. So yeah, very easy. And then what you do is you'll just photograph it. So you can photograph while they're writing to make a more documentary style project, or you could do portraits after they've got them written on their bodies, and then encourage them to like really show that part of yourself love and touch that part of your body, or thank it for what it's done for you. Maybe write a poem to that part of yourself. Whatever the thing is, again, you're going to take it and make it your own, but that's kind of the overall arching premise of project number one. All right, and project number two, this one's a bit more messy. So if you are opposed to mess, this one you may just not want to consider at all. I want to encourage you to use things like glitter, gold leaf, paint, anything like that that's fun and playful and a little bit messy. But it's along the same lines as the other one. But instead of writing words, what they're going to do is they're going to paint the parts of themselves, or spread glitter on the parts of themselves that previously held a bit of pain or trauma or sadness or heartache, whatever the thing is. It depends on, the purpose of why you're wanting to do a project. But if you're doing something to explore maybe divorce in people, get them to like pick a color. What is your favorite color? Or what color would you use to symbolize how your heartbreak feels in this moment? And they'll pick a color. That's the color of glitter you bring. And then they put that color of glitter across their chest, across their heart, to symbolize that moment in their life. The thing about projects is they don't always have to be pretty. This is also important, though glitter makes everything pretty, I think. But they don't always have to be pretty. And so it's more documentary and exploring certain feelings or expressions or body parts or things like that. So it doesn't always have to be beautiful, in the traditional sense. And then in that same line of things, we've seen this done before multiple times. There is the Japanese art of repairing broken things with gold leaf, and making things beautiful again out of the brokenness. It's very common. And yes, lots of people have done it, including myself. Still do it. Your clients maybe haven't experienced this, and it's something you can offer them. Don't worry about other creatives. Worry about yourself and the people that you're there to serve. If it will help your community, if it'll help your mission and purpose of why you do this work, then it's worth exploring doing anyways, okay? So you can use gold leaf, you can use gold paint. That's what I used, was kind of like a gold paint, which was skin safe, of course. You could use gold glitter, anything like that. And it's the same kind of thing. I focus specifically on scars because that's kind of what my brain went to. Again, I work more with the physical body part. So for me, it made sense to work on scars. But for some people, you might just want to use it on parts where they feel inadequate or insecure, or maybe they were hurt in some sort of way, but there might not be a visible scar, but their brain still holds the trauma. They can use the gold as kind of a therapeutic way to kind of move through and process the experience that they had. So that is a really beautiful one. It photographs beautifully. And again, however you photograph, it will be beautiful. So there's no, technically you can try a bunch of different things, whether you shoot natural light, studio light, or whatever. That part doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. This is really just about getting people to connect with their body in a way that's safer than just simply sitting there talking about it. It gives them an outlet to be able to explore these things. So the third and final project that I want to encourage you to consider doing for your empowerment business is to incorporate some sort of foliage. So I use flowers because there's so many different kinds of flowers. And I'll ask the subjects, the people that want to participate in this project, okay, what is a flower that you like? Or what is a flower that you would, when you think of this body part, what kind of flower do you envision? There's certain types of meditations you can encourage them to walk through to see what their kind of spirit flower is, if that's a thing. Whatever it is, you can Google that stuff. But the whole point of it is to get people to, again, connect with parts of themselves that have been hurt and or they feel insecure about. And so the flowers make it a bit easier to touch the body. If somebody previously has a lot of trauma in certain areas, physical touch, like even with their own hand, can be triggering and can feel unsafe and uncertain and bring up anxiety. But all of a sudden, if you were to transfer that just a little bit further into either a flower, a feather's a good one, something else, and have them like kind of trace across the body, the different parts of the body, drag the flower from a part of yourself that you love or accept, and drag that acceptance over the part of yourself that you have a harder time accepting. That movement is going to keep them in the moment to like transfer the feeling of love, acceptance, again, whatever words you decide to choose for that. But by utilizing flowers, not only are you going to get beautiful imagery, there's also going to be scent associated with it because most flowers have a smell. They will have chosen their favorite flower, so they will appreciate that. They get to take the flower home with them, or flowers home with them. That's always a benefit because most of the people, at least that come to me, are usually givers. They are not receivers. And so they rarely will buy themselves flowers. And so it's nice for me to be able to say, like, no, you get to take these home with you now, which they love. And so it's just another way for them to connect to their body and to themselves and be present, thinking about, okay, what part of my body am I insecure about, and drawing attention to it. A big part of the work that I do, whether I'm talking about mindset, body image, money, and like anything, the first step is always awareness, like being aware of where we hold our trauma, where our thoughts are, where our, beliefs are starting and things like that. And so these projects allow people to come into the moment and be present with themselves, to bring awareness to parts of themselves that maybe they forgot that they felt so insecure about. When we do the same thing for so long, it's just default behavior. So when we're in the present, we can recognize it, and then we can start to make changes from there. So those are 3 very easy to execute, relatively inexpensive projects that you can do to help your clients start to embrace themselves, their body, their sexuality, work through things like domestic violence, sexual trauma, anything like that. These are just really beautiful ways that you can help your clients expand beyond just like sexy photos in boudoir, and give them an opportunity to spend time with themselves and have documentation of it, which is absolutely beautiful. As for the logistics side of it for yourself, you can expand it and do whatever you want with these ideas. My job is just to give you the ideas, and your job is to take them and run with them and make them your own and do whatever you want. You can bring in a videographer who's going to interview the people. Maybe you're interested in learning about people's stories. Maybe you love connection with people. Maybe you bring partners together. If you photograph couples, maybe you bring couples together and you have one partner use the flower to draw love on their partner's body. Like, that would be beautiful. And you just capture those moments between the two of them. There's like so many different things you can do, but these are just like 3 different elements that I have found people tend to enjoy making a mess. So that's number 1. They tend to like creative ideas that have a very specific kind of focus or objective to it. And 3, they love to be part of a bigger movement, either inspiring their friends, their kids, or their community at large. So just be clear on if you're going to be sharing the photos, making sure they're signing model releases, making sure that you have full permission from them to actually share the footage or images or so on, or decide, am I just going to give them to them? It doesn't, you decide. This project is yours, but these are just a few things you want to consider to protect, of course, the subjects that are sitting in front of your camera and trusting you to take these photos in the first place. All right, so that is it. Those are 3 fun ideas that you can execute next month, or when you're watching this, it will be Love Month, February. So feel free to start doing them this month, or just spread them out throughout the year and see what happens. But creative projects are a really great way for you as the artist to reconnect with that part of yourself and explore more beyond just the traditional posing flows that we know sell and work, but don't really feed our soul. Okay, so if you like this type of content, let me know in the comments section, and I will be sure to continue to share ideas, because I have a lot of ideas all the time, and I love sharing them to see how other people will execute them. So if you give these a go, feel free to come back in the comments section, share the link where I can view your project. I want to hype you up on the projects. Tag me on Instagram at Terry Hofford if you're doing model calls for the projects. I just want to see what you're doing. I can help you. I would love to help out in any way that I can, if that even means just sharing your story to my network. All right, beautiful. So hopefully this was beneficial for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. If you want more ideas for empowerment projects, I do have a guide on my 10 best empowerment projects that I've done, and I will link that in the description below as well. But that is it for today, my friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.